hope that you are doing well and staying safe during this season. I was going through the drive through just the other day with my son and my wife in the car. I placed my order at the um, window and then moved forward to the next window to pay for the order. And the young lady behind the counter, she leaned over and she said, "Thank you so much for being kind and polite. Um, you know, it really made my day today." And she said, "I can't tell you how many folks come through here and they're angry and they're screaming and they're just not kind." She said, "So thank you for being kind to me." And I thought, in my heart, it was just crushed because she couldn't have been more than 16 or 17 years old and working really hard and doing the very best that she knows how to provide customer service to the people that come through the drive-through. And I'm thinking to myself, I, I don't know how people can be aggressive over a drive-through. It kind of was shocking to me. I don't know how you order your food, but typically I consider ordering through a drive-through a pretty low confrontational situation. Um, and and anyway, so that got me thinking. Wow, what are the words that we are using, and how are we um, conveying our message, and how are we speaking to one another? And so I would say this, in this moment, in this time, in our country, with so many things that are happening, it's very, very easy to fall into the trap of just not having a good spirit and not having a positive attitude and not having really words of encouragement. And so that's what I want to stop here for a moment, and I'm going to read 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 11, and it reads like this: "Therefore encourage one another and build one another up." And I can't tell you how many times when we're looking at social media, everyone has some opinion or another, and everyone feels like their voice needs to be heard. And if you disagree with their voice, then you absolutely hate them and hate the country and hate everything else that goes along with, humankind. It just goes on and on. And so, we could use a lot of that right now, especially in our country, to be kind to one another and to encourage one another and building one another up. Wow, that's a word for all of us. But here's the other thing. It's one thing to be negative towards other people. It's a whole nother thing when you are the same negative towards your spouse. And I would say that is even more detrimental because if you are not encouraging or building your spouse up, then what are you doing? How are you communicating in your marriage? How do you find um, happiness, joy, if you're not building one another up? It's really hard to do when each person is not encouraging one another. And then here's another one in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. It reads like this: "Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up, as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear." Is your words graceful to someone else's ears? Are they comforting? Are they encouraging? Are they blessing other people? And if they are not, then I would ask you to take a hard look at yourself and take a hard look at your spirit and your heart and what's in your heart. Because the Bible says, out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. And again, not everything that we think needs to be said. And a lot of people nowadays don't understand that. And just take a look at social media, and I'll just leave it at that. So anyway, coming back to how are we being an encouragement to one another, especially our spouse. This is the person that you love the most, that you cherish the most, that you are doing life together every single day, day in and day out. So how are our words encouraging one another? And I hope and pray that it gives grace when we speak to those who hear, especially our loving spouses. So, let this be a reminder to all of us. Be kind to one another, be gracious to one another, but when we use our words, when we open our mouth, may it be gracious as we encourage one another, so that we can all pursue godly character. And that is something that really just kind of struck my heart over these last few days. And I hope that this would be, again, an encouragement to each one of us today. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.